Hi, I'm taking you on a little driving tour today. Have you wondered what is up with all the new construction homes around Table Rock Lake? Actually, I'll tell you a little story because I had a client in the car a couple weeks ago and he bought in Royal Vista. So as I'm showing him the condo in Royal Vista, we come past the chateau up on that ridge and boom, you see all of these homes. And his exact words were, "What is that? Like, what is all that going on?" Yeah, because wow, it's just all right there. And so I had to explain it to him a little bit, and I thought, well, what a great video to make to explain how we got to this point of all of this new construction just booming. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to drive through 5 different neighborhoods and show you the kind of the progression of the nightly rental business in Branson over the years and how it got to just explode recently. So I've heard also that there's plans in the works to build more of these around the lake, and I'd like to get your opinion on it as an investor or as a home buyer out there. Do you think that we're going to be able to sustain the nightly rental business here in Branson, or are things going to get overbuilt? All right, so let's take a drive. So we're going to start with Branson Canyon because it was the first development built for nightly rental. It all started with just a few simple homes in 2007 when people were really just starting to get interested in doing VRBO in Branson. Of course, it was hard to find neighborhoods that would allow it with all the covenants and restrictions. So meeting the demand for these home buyers to be able to do short-term rentals was just a fabulous idea. And it was slow going at first, but as people were starting to make income on these homes, they wanted larger homes. Since the more bedrooms you have, the more income you're going to make. So developers really listened to what investors wanted here in Branson Canyon, and I think that my favorite part of this development is all of the natural landscaping. They left a lot of the cedars and the rocks, and it really makes it a great place to vacation, and rarely do you find one of these for sale on the market. The next development we're going to talk about is Trophy Run. And now Trophy Run has been here for quite a few years, and these cabins have also been here for a while. They were built as fractional ownership properties, and they are ran by Trophy Run Resort. So lately though, they've been developing the other lots in here, and there's 72 lots altogether, and they've been building 2 to 5 bedroom cabins like this one. So this is actually a really beautiful location right on Taneycomo Lake, and of course these are all pending and sold already, if you're wondering, but great property here, and they've left a lot of the natural beauty, the walkways, the trees, and of course the water. So you can't beat that. Nice clubhouse, and very peaceful location and very private back here. And just around the corner, we're at Branson Cove, and this is a large development of farmhouse style homes. There's 72 lots in this development, and as you can see, they're all large 5 to 10 bedroom, farmhouse style homes. Lots of concrete and asphalt, not a lot of natural landscaping here, because that's actually more cost effective for the developer to buy a piece of land, clear it totally, and then start building one home at a time and another one, which is exactly what happened. As rental prices went up the past 2 years, vacation rentals like these were in high demand. Now you can see what these are renting for at rentbranson.com, which is the main manager here, and they do an excellent job, I hear. So rental right now for a 10 bedroom, just average, is around $1,800 per night for July, and that goes down to about $800 per night in August. 4 bedrooms are going for around $600 a night in July. July is our biggest month for rental. Also, I see some of the 10 bedrooms are trying to get $2,000 a night, and those are just not getting the bookings. But it's almost the end of June, so we'll have to see how this July plays out for most of these nightly rental homes. And here we are at the lodges at Chateau Cove. Pulling off a 265 here real quick. Up on this ridge are a couple of the homes they built at first. There in the distance is Chateau Mountain, which I'm going to talk about next, totally different development. But this road that I'm on right now zigzags around down the hill to the pool in the center, and then there's rows and rows of homes here as you go down the hill. Also, there's no real natural landscape left, although I do see that they have planted a couple of trees there. Also, there's an indoor pool available right here, which is great. And then we're going to talk about these large 12-bedroom homes, and I'm going to tell you how they're doing on rental. So the larger homes with 12 bedrooms that sleep 50 people tend to do really well through the summer. Here's an example of one rental that's a 12-bedroom, 14-bath, fully booked for the summer, and July prices are $2,000 to $2,400 per night. Just to give you an example of one that allows pets, because that's a really good selling point for renters. Here's a 10-bedroom, and prices range anywhere from $1,600 to $1,800 per night, and this one is fully booked. Mid-August prices tend to drop, so this one would be $800 per night during August. Here's another 12-bedroom that's right at the entry here, and it is not yet fully booked for July. The prices on it are $1,500 to $2,000. Hopefully it'll get booked soon though. So the next development is Chateau Mountain, built on the very ridge top right behind the lodges at Chateau Cove. And this has 63 lots altogether. And this was the development I was telling you about earlier that we were driving by with my client in the car. So I can't help but think about trying to find your cabin after a couple of margaritas. All jokes aside, these cabins or houses are actually 5 to 10 bedrooms, so they're way bigger inside than you think. They are more simply constructed, and they do have more amenities like a basketball court, a tennis court. Of course, they have pools. But the construction is more simple, but you're at a lower price range. And I should say they're at a lower price point than the Chateau Cove ones I just showed you. So these run more around $800,000 versus $1 million, $1.3 million. So here's what they've been making on nightly rental. Here's a 5-bedroom that allows pets at $700 to $900 per night, and it is almost fully booked. Here's another 10-bedroom that is surprisingly almost the same rent per night as the 5-bedroom, but it goes up to $1,500 in peak season. So actually the 5 bedrooms look like a pretty good deal. I really appreciate you guys watching this video today, and if you would please, whether you're a local or if you're an investor that has bought one of these homes, tell us your story, tell us your opinion about how your nightly rental is doing. I'm sure everybody out there would love to hear it. And also, if you're a local, if you're concerned about the development going on, please tell us your thoughts and feelings below. I love to make my videos just open for discussion, so if you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. You can research all of these listings online as well, which I will leave the links in the description. All right, so I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again. Bye-bye.